guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Venmo Wehrli, here to help educate and inspire you about autism. Now before we get started, I wanted to thank each and every one of you for the 1,000 subscribers. I would not have made it this far without you. For those of you who are new to my channel, if you haven't done so, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and be sure to hit that bell notification icon so that you don't miss any latest updates from me. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the reason why I wanted to come on here and make a video is because I have been asked by so many people whether or not that they should tell their child that they are autistic. Bear in mind that this is totally up to you on however you decide to parent your child. I don't want you to feel forced or obligated. I'm just offering my opinions and insights. Should you tell your child that they have autism? Yes, absolutely. Every possible shade of yes. And it's best that you do it as young as possible. It's important to figure out what type of brain your child has so that you can find the best way to help them learn. And the things that help you to be happy so that you can find your tribe. That's what one person said to me. Also, as they get older, they will know that they're different. But one person told me that they wish they knew when they were younger because they wouldn't have had all this anxiety knowing that they were different, but not knowing why. Knowing that they are autistic will help them to take precautions, like knowing how to manage the adversities. Another thing to consider is that if you decide to enroll your autistic child into a public school setting and they are struggling in school due to their autism, you and the school staff will have meetings to help the child succeed. However, the autistic child may stop and wonder, why is he the only one who is struggling? Or why are you having all these meetings about him? I know that from experience. When my mom told me that I'm autistic and she's dyslexic, I thought that this was a way to describe gender. Boys are autistic, girls are dyslexic. But when I was enrolled in public school in my sophomore year in high school, it was a whole new ballgame for me. I could not understand my subjects at all, I couldn't stay on task, and I couldn't make any friends. When I had talks about this with my mom, she told me that this is due to my autism. There's a lot of factors that you have to take into consideration when you're telling your child that they are autistic. Many people see autism as a red flag and they become skeptical of associating themselves with autistic people. Many people don't have the patience to work with an autistic person and often assume the worst about them. Autistic people are also prone to getting bullied. What's really bad about this is that as a child gets older, they will most likely become exposed to rumors about autism, like the ones that I just described. How do you think your child would feel if you were to tell them at a later age? I've had teenagers come to me after they were informed that they are autistic and were grieving, just like a parent who grieves for their child after hearing that their child is autistic, because they're scared for their future. It's important to make them well aware that they are not the only autistic person on the planet. And many people go through similar struggles, whether or not if they are autistic. So how do you go about telling your child that they are autistic? You can do it in several ways. You could read a children's book about it, watch a TV show or a movie with an autistic character, and ask what their thoughts are about it. Yes, I'm very well aware that there are autistic characters that are not accurately portrayed, but it gives them an idea of what it is. Just let them know that just because they're autistic doesn't mean that they're going to be exactly like that character. You could also introduce them to someone who has autism and talk to them. I talk to all sorts of autistic people who are afraid of revealing their disability. You could also find famous people who are on the spectrum to reassure them that the sky's the limit. It's up to you to decide how you're going to do it, but it does count on your child's personality and your relationship with them. If you're still not sure, then maybe try it through many little conversations with them over time, just to give them the time they need to process it. As soon as they're diagnosed, give them an age-appropriate description of what autism is. Even if you're not sure they're understanding you, explain it to them anyways. They might understand more than they show, and if they don't, it's a good way to give yourself practice talking about it to them, which will make it easier to have later conversations with them about it. That's essentially what my mom was doing with me as I was growing up. You just want to talk about it whenever it's relevant. For example, sarcasm is something that neurotypicals do. And I know it can make it harder for you to understand them, but you're learning. Whenever an autistic trait is relevant, make sure to acknowledge that it's a trait of theirs and something that makes them different from the majority. Your child deserves to know that they are autistic. They're going to know that they are different, especially if people are treating them differently. And there's so much to benefit from knowing that they are autistic and how it affects them. Don't worry about too young to know or too young to understand. Just present it as normal, because autism is normal for your child. They will never know not autistic. So teaching them that autism is bad or abnormal is the same as teaching them that they are bad or abnormal. If you've already made it to the end of this video, I applaud you, and I hope that you learned something out of this. Thank you so much to the people that contributed to this topic. I wouldn't have been able to write about this without your input. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel or hit that bell button, please do so. I'll see you all in the next video.